tripod, so bear with me if I have no idea what I'm doing. Not sure if it's even looking at me. But welcome to the second half of my packing tutorial. This is going to be what to pack in your suitcase. Now again, if you've watched my other one about what to pack in your carry-on and your backpack, please know I am not a light packer. If you are a light packer, this video is probably not going to apply to you. This will come up with things that you may have never thought of, but hopefully this helps you out. So I am sitting on my floor just so because it's easier for me to get my stuff out of my suitcase. Ooh, I'm out of breath for some reason. I just ran up the stairs. I'm also going to attach my email that's linked to my YouTube account at in the description box below, so that you guys, if you want a copy of my packing list, I can send it right off to you. Some things are for my work, so just ignore some of the stuff that might not apply to you if you get it. So, alright, so here we go. Right, what should we start with? So the first thing is that you should pack some shoes. So obviously make sure you pack shoes. My mom and I, we only wear flip-flops typically to the parks unless we're running or unless it's really cold out. So we actually don't usually bring sneakers. I should mention that this particular suitcase is packed for my July 4th trip, so this is typically honestly, this is small packing for me. I usually pack way more than this. I don't want to scare you off too much. So, we also do bring sandals like this. I don't know. These are Dr. Scholl's, I think. They are, just so you can guys see it, hopefully a little bit better. I have no idea where I am in this camera. But these are perfect for rainy weather for us because, again, we don't really wear sneakers. I don't like how sneakers feel on my feet except for when I'm exercising. And so these are good. We call them smart shoes because we won't slip in them if it's raining. Alright, so that's the big part of this back part of my suitcase. The next thing is a hat. Make sure you always bring a hat. I always have one in my carry-on as well, but this is just an extra one because things happen in Florida and you lose things pretty easily. I'm just going to adjust my suitcase here a little bit so I can open it. Of course, again, this is a walking advertisement for Vera Bradley. I swear I did not know how much Vera Bradley I own until I go through my packing stuff because I really don't use that much during the daytime. At home, I just use it when I travel. So I really love these packing cubes. Vera Bradley goes back and forth in making these. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. But Amazon has some too. That's where my mom got hers. But these are nice because they're expandable. So they have this nice side zipper here that you can make it bigger or smaller. I like to personally separate all of my clothes by just tops, bottoms, and then like dresses or whatever. So I'm not going to go through all my clothes, but I am at least 2 outfit a day person. Only because it's so hot, I really hate wearing the same clothes all day unless I didn't sweat, which is unusual in Florida, especially for us since we're coming from cold weather all the time. So this is just clothes mostly. I also like to try on my clothes before I go. I mean, this is obviously personal preference, but I know a lot of other people do this too. I just like to try it on, make sure it looks okay. Very occasionally I'll photograph myself in it just to see if that looks okay. I don't do that often though, but I know a lot of people do that too, just because you think something looks good until you get photographed in it. That's definitely more like of a vanity issue for me in my Instagram, so don't worry about that. But anyway, so these are dresses that I'm wearing on the trip. This packing cube is, I believe, these are dresses, and then these are shirts for the trip. I think I packed all my outfits in one, maybe that's why I'm confused. Another little thing that I always bring with me are these compression shorts. I get mine at Target or on Amazon. I think these ones are Champion, so I'm assuming they came from Target. These are perfect for wearing under your dress, especially when it's hot out, or if you're getting in rides, in and out of rides, just so you can't see up the dress. So that's a tip that I've shared with a lot of people. It also helps if you have any chafing issues, which I do. I've shared that before. Then this will definitely help with that as well. So that's all of that stuff. Now, next step in terms of things you do not want to forget are pajamas. I've forgotten pajamas before, so I always make sure I bring them in. So these are just my pajamas. And then, of course, you want to bring bathing suits and bathing suit cover-ups, so that's what I have here. I typically bring 1 pieces mostly. I don't really wear, you know, 2 pieces. Again, personal preference. But if you're going to the water park, I would recommend that you wear a 1 piece if you're going down any big slides, just because it can hurt your back if you're not. So that's pajamas, cover-ups, and bathing suits. This we always make fun of. This is what we literally call a bag of bags. This I just keep literally for all my plastic bags that I carry with me to put phones in, or my camera or whatever. I usually have it in my carry-on. I'm pretty sure I talked about it in that video as well. So this is just a bag of bags. These ditty bags are pretty much my favorite thing ever that Vera Bradley makes. Here's like an empty one that I usually carry. This is what they look like. They're drawstring. So I guess one side closed like this. The newer versions, so this pattern is like ancient. I think it's literally from when Vera Bradley first came out. It's my first Vera Bradley purchase. So, but these newer patterns or styles have plastic on the inside, like a plastic liner. So I actually bring these if we go to a water park just to put my wet bathing suit in, so that it's not getting everything else wet, or if I don't change. Okay, where are we? Obviously you don't want to forget underwear and bras if you're wearing bras. So I won't show that. If you're bringing sneakers, please don't forget socks. Again, I don't have any socks with me just because I'm not bringing any. Alright, next up is my nighttime stuff. This may not apply to you. I wear a sleep mask. I actually just have a second one just for sleeping. I'm sorry, for sleeping. For Disney, just so I don't have to forget to pack it, because I always sleep with a sleep mask. The sun really gets me. This one smells good. And so I got this on Amazon. I think it was like $9. It's my favorite. I have them at home too here. And then I always bring earplugs, just because I am a pretty light sleeper if there's anyone that's around us. Disney hotels are pretty well insulated, but if you're in a value or a moderate where your door is on the outside, sometimes people walk past it a lot and it can wake you up, so I'll do that. Not as often as I used to, because I also bring a sound machine with me. This honestly, it sounds ridiculous, and when I bought it I was like, oh, this is overkill, but I love this thing. I don't use a sound machine at home. Typically I do sleep with a fan on, so I guess I kind of do. This is Avantex, A-V-A-N-T-E-X, small little travel size one. I got this on Amazon, of course, as well. Love this thing. Everyone in my family loves this thing when they stay in our room, or my room. It just really helps you sleep if it's loud. Alright, another thing that you might not think of, and this has definitely been a lightsaber, Star Wars reference, a lifesaver for us, is this cord, extension cord. There's a lot of times where there's not enough outlets because so many things are USB, which is fine, but if you don't have enough USB cables and you just have the plugs, this comes in handy. I plug in all the time. You can tell Mousekeeping doesn't care because they never move it. So that's definitely something I would recommend. I use it probably 50-50 when I need it. Depends on the room we're in. Makeup, if you wear makeup, this is, just something, obviously you want to pack your makeup, but I always pack makeup wipes. I use Pond's, that's personal preference, Pond's makeup remover. And then another big thing to remember, I feel like an advertisement for Vera Bradley just based on how many things I have, but I use Q-tips for my makeup remover. So this is my makeup bag. My makeup is not packed because we're not leaving for another week, so we obviously need my makeup. Raincoat, I think I might have talked about. This is definitely something you want to bring. In Florida it rains a lot. I actually have a poncho in here too. I don't use it a ton, especially in the winter, in the summer, just because it gets so hot you really don't want to put a piece of plastic on you, but I do bring it just in case. This is just for makeup. A lot of this stuff is actually just for 4th of July. A brush, you want to make sure you have a brush. I also have a brush that I use just for Florida, so it stays in there. I tend to buy a lot of stuff that I just keep in my suitcase because honestly I'll forget it if I don't do it, even though I have a packing list that I follow. So, alright. I don't use like a hair, I don't curl my hair or anything, but I do use a straightener typically, so I usually just bring my straightener. which is obviously not packed. My sister made us these bags for the Princess Half Marathon. I like this little pool bag, essentially, is what I have in it. I have like some balls in here for my nephew to play with. I put an extra hat in here typically to wear down to the pool, so it's actually right here, it fell out, but so I like to just have a separate stuff in here so that I can quickly grab my stuff when I get there and go to the pool. And alright, here comes the big stuff. Actually, let me come back to this. Real quick, I don't know, so depends on what resort you're staying at. We do try to decorate our room, our windows, if we're staying in a deluxe, a value or a moderate, because you'll see you have windows that go outside. So for my mom's cancer-free anniversary, I made us like cool signs with like the breast cancer ribbons, her name saying she was cancer-free, and then I made my dad and I Mickey Mouse colors in New Orleans colors with a mask, so it's really fun to decorate. This trip we're staying at the Contemporary, so I actually got us these cute little rope lamps that use batteries, which you don't want to plug in things in Disney rooms, because I don't think they even allow that. So it's cool, these use batteries, but my mom has the other ones, but we have red and blue for 4th of July, and we're going to throw them on our balcony when we're watching the fireworks. So that's just something extra, obviously. Alright, so I talked about my medicines and my carry-on. You guys already probably thought I was crazy, but you're especially going to think I'm crazy. I'm just looking, so I feel like I'm totally not in the center of this, so this whole video is going to be like off-center. That's okay. It's my first try. So I'm really weird about bringing medicines. I like to bring pretty much anything that I can think of, and it tends to get bigger and bigger as I go. This is scaled down. I actually only have 2 bags of stuff, but I try to just think of anything you possibly need. Not that you can't buy it there, not that you can Uber to a store, but when I first started to go to Disney, we didn't have a lot of money, so it would have cost a lot of money to go to buy some of this stuff, because some of it can be pretty expensive, and that was before Uber. So now I'm just prepared, essentially. So I bring Tums, that's just for heartburn. This whole bag is just cough drops and tummy drops, which are these ginger drops that they make for pregnant women that I really like for nausea. And then Nausine, I think I talked about that in my carry-on episode as well. So typically I bring the bottles of all this stuff, but because my nephew is going to be with us this trip, I didn't want to have the really easy to open zipper stuff that we have and him to accidentally get stuff, so I'm putting stuff like in triple bags just so he can't get to it. Not that he would, but just in case. So typically I would have bottles of all this stuff, which is why my suitcase is so big probably. So in here I have Bayer aspirin, God forbid someone have a heart attack and they need a baby aspirin, that's the doctor in me. I have allergy pills, I have, what is this, Aleve, Excedrin for migraines, I have decongestants, I think that's all that's in here. But again, typically I don't carry just a loose bag of pills, it looks kind of silly, but if you're going on a short trip, it is kind of nice to just throw it in like this so you're not carrying a ton of stuff. This is just a prescription for anti-nausea medicine I use for my migraines. Ibuprofen, this is probably something everyone should have with them. If you have kids, make sure you're bringing children's ibuprofen or children's Tylenol. Follow the dosing instructions on the bottle, I should say, as my doctor self. We go through a lot of ibuprofen for some reason. This is something I just added because I found it at Target. Pepto-Bismol, which I literally never use, so I don't actually know why I bought this, but they make a chewable form, and so I thought that was pretty cool. And just in case, I guess. So, this is Azo. If you're a female, you probably know what that is. I am not going to go into it other than to say this is good for if you're having urinary tract infection. I actually never used this. I don't know where this one went. So, what is this? Oh, this is Mucinex. Again, something that you probably don't have to bring. I was sick one time. My mom and I were both sick when we went for New Year's, which is why I did not film it, and so actually this came in handy. This is just Prilosec, over-the-counter omeprazole. Benadryl is actually something that I just put into my backpack as well. I hope you can see this. I mean, you probably don't have to. But this is good if you need something for an allergic reaction. My sister is going on this trip, and she is allergic to the sun and sunscreen, so I figure better pack the Benadryl in my backpack too, just in case. Imodium, that's anti-diarrheal. Flonase is like my favorite stuff ever. I feel like I'm a walking advertisement for Flonase as well. Super great for allergies. My allergies, I said it before, are brutal in Florida for some reason. It's probably the one reason I can't ever move down there. These are Highland ear drops. These are for water in your ear. I don't use it a ton, but it does come in handy occasionally. It's more anti-nausea pill. Band-Aids. Band-Aids are something that you should have. I have it in my carry-on as well. You never know when you need a Band-Aid. I also just have like generic Dayquil and NyQuil. Again, cough and cold medicine. You probably don't need it, but we were sick one time. It did come in handy, so I just keep it in there. My inhaler, if you have an inhaler, make sure you bring it in your carry-on. This is really, I just have exercise-induced asthma, so I don't carry it on my carry-on because I really would never use it. I just bring it for races essentially, and I don't use it at home very often, so I just keep it in my packing stuff. But if you have it for a real thing, real asthma, please put it in your carry-on. These are just eye drops. My eyes are pretty dry ever since having eye surgery. I talked about that as well. And then the last two things that I somehow crammed into this bag are hydrocortisone cream and antibacterial ointment, so like Neosporin. The hydrocortisone cream is good if you get bug bites, which we tend to always get, and the antibiotic ointment, obviously, you know, for whatever you would use it for at home. So let me put this all back real quick, and then we will move on to the last bag here. And this is my bag of like really random stuff. So again, this is probably overdoing it. Also, again, in a ditty bag. I really, honestly, have not realized how much I really have until just looking at it, so. Alright, so the first thing is I got this nail kit. I think I got it actually at the Loft in their checkout line. It's super nice. It has a small scissors, nail clippers, tweezers, and then I threw a file in there. You never know when you need to clip your nails because things get caught all the time. I also put everything in bags because I'm afraid of it leaking. This happens to be in 2 bags because it leaked pretty bad last trip. And so I'm just being extra cautious. But this is bug spray. Zika is still here, guys. Please make sure you're wearing bug spray, especially in Florida. And then deodorant, obviously. You don't want to forget deodorant. If you're a woman, don't forget any women's products you might need. You all know what I mean. I bring a lint roller because I wear a lot of black for some reason. And so this helps with your black clothes. You obviously want to make sure you're wearing sunscreen. I personally have pretty sensitive skin, so I use Neutrogena sunscreen. I also have Neutrogena face sunscreen, but obviously whatever brand you use is fine. Apparently sunscreen is bad for us and the environment, so I'm not sure what kind of sunscreen we're supposed to be using anymore. I also found this really cool. I won't show it to you, but I actually forgot I had this migraine stick, which apparently is supposed to be, it's like an essential oil for migraines. I don't know. I get a lot of migraines in Florida, knock on wood. Hopefully I don't get one when I'm there because the weather is just a little bit crazier there than it is here. Tape, I mostly would just use this if we're decorating something. You don't want it taped to the walls, obviously, but sometimes it helps to tape stuff together. If I'm doing decorating in the walls, I buy like those little suction cups to put on because you don't want to tape Disney windows. They will not be happy with you. This is just hair ties, extra hair ties. What else? This is my leave-in conditioner. I don't want to unwrap it. But when my hair was blonde, this was like a must. I don't need it as much now that my hair is just back to my natural color. But it's a 10 leave-in conditioner. It's a little pricey, but it actually works really, really nicely. They make a special kind just for blonde hair, in case you have blonde hair. And the last thing in this bag is clothespins. I use clothespins all the time for drying bathing suits. So you know, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but in the shower they have that thing that you pull across. It's like literally like a clothesline, and you can hang your stuff on there to dry, but I swear it dries better if you stretch it out and use the clips. So like literally everyone in my family makes fun of me for bringing these, but they still use them, so clearly they think they work too. So I think that's it. So again, you know, there's other stuff that you can do that I do have on my packing list that I just don't have with me right now because we typically don't really use it anyway. That would be stuff like foot powder. If you feel like your foot, you know, if you're wearing sneakers and your feet sweat a lot, it's nice to have like baby powder to throw in there, or obviously if you have a baby. I don't have a child, so I don't have, you know, any packing stuff for kiddos, but my sister, you know, has a 4-year-old. She doesn't pack a ton, just a few toys usually. I'm trying to think what else extra. Obviously, if they need diapers and wipes, which she doesn't. Lots of extra clothes for little ones. I feel like they always have somehow like have accidents and stuff like that. And then obviously if they're using a bottle, you want to make sure you bring their bottle stuff. I don't know, I'm just throwing stuff out there. If you have a baby, you probably know what it is. So one thing I see over there that I actually have not packed right now is nail polish and nail polish remover. I'm not bringing that this trip just because it's short, but if you, like we use like a sparkle nail polish that does wear off pretty easily on our nails sometimes, so I just bring it with me. It takes 2 seconds, and then nail polish remover if you want it. But we don't have that this trip. And that is it. So again, this is very actually cut down from what I would normally pack. This is a 1 suitcase trip. I typically use 2 suitcases when I go on longer trips. Oh my gosh, I never put half this stuff back in. But again, please reach out to me if you have any questions, or if you, want my packing list. You can email me and I will send a copy to you. Just let me know if you have a Mac or a PC, just because I have 2 different copies of it for that reason, because I don't have Word on my computer, so I made a Word copy for anyone who does not have MacBook. What else? I think that's it. I'm super hunched over, so that's fun. Sorry. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you have extra magic bands, you can throw it in there, or sometimes I'll throw my ears in there too if I'm bringing a lot of them, but I don't like them to get ruined, so I guess that's it. The last thing I want to do is shout out to all my new subscribers. I've gotten a ton of new subscribers in the last few weeks, so thank you to everyone who's subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'm so appreciate it. I also want to give a huge shout out to my friend Jake. He was like one of my first subscribers. I know he watches my videos every week because he's the one who pointed out that I was on time, and actually within a month of being caught up on my videos, so I know he watches. So thanks, Jake, and I hope you guys have a good night, and happy 4th of July, since this video is coming out the day before 4th of July, which means that I am on my way to Disney, hopefully, barring any issues. So bye guys, we'll see you next time. My next, as you watch me throw stuff on my suitcase, my next tip video is actually going to be, ooh, sorry, my feeling noise. My next tip video is actually going to be about Rent Disney. I have tons of questions lined up that people have asked me about that, so look out for that. I'll probably do that one after I finish my main videos. Bye guys!